These are all the stories so far connected to my DC horror universe. Only 3 of them are horror. Only 3 are horror, though, since some are backstory stuff.
To return until February 23rd.
The Arkham Story Number 1, Part 1, Magpie, Earth 666. Part 1 News Report. Gotham City News, live at 11. This is Jack Ryder reporting live from downtown Gotham City, where authorities are still assessing the damage caused by the notorious jewel thief known as Magpie. Earlier this week, Margaret Pye, better known by her criminal alias, infiltrated Nimbus Tech, a subsidiary of the late industrialist Simon Stagg. Sources confirm she stole experimental materials once owned by the deceased father of Oliver Queen. In typical Magpie fashion, she replaced the stolen items with meticulously crafted replica explosives. But that wasn't all. Financial records reveal she siphoned millions from accounts belonging to billionaire mogul Lex Luthor. Authorities suspect the theft was more about the shine of Luthor's prestige than the money itself. Her final act came 2 nights ago when she attempted to steal the remaining pearls of Martha Wayne, a symbolic and historic treasure in Gotham. With assistance from Vulture, a member of the Terrible Trio, both criminals were reportedly hired by Gotham crime lord Penguin Comwire. However, the heist ended abruptly. The Batman intervened, apprehending both Vulture and Magpie before the pearls could be removed from their display. Margaret Pye is now being held at Arkham Asylum for psychiatric evaluation. Part 2, the interview recorded transcript. Arkham Asylum, interviewer, Dr. Hugo Strange. The room is white. Too white. Margaret Pye sits calmly, fingers twitching as though counting invisible diamonds in the air. Miss Pye, what is your opinion on Batgirl? Margaret smiles. She has shinies. And the man? Margaret tilts her head. The shadow man with the green hood. Dr. Strange pauses. Clarify. Magpie, he just stands there looking at me. He's very shiny. Dr. Strange makes a note. Possible hallucination. Subject references a green-hooded apparition. Cross-reference with occult sightings. Possible manifestation linked to the Spectre. Margaret leans forward. He doesn't blink. Part 3, documentary notes. Arkham Psychological Case File, Margaret Pye. Magpie's criminal career escalated 2 weeks prior to her most recent incarceration. Records confirm her involvement in a larger conspiracy orchestrated by the surgeon-turned-mastermind Hush. The plan was dismantled by Batman before full execution. Shortly after, Magpie attempted to loot historical artifacts from Gotham City Hall. She was intercepted by Batwoman following a rooftop pursuit. Her obsession remains consistent: shine, rarity, symbolism. Unlike Catwoman, Magpie does not simply steal, she replaces. The replica explosives are not intended for mass destruction but serve as psychological signatures. A statement. A twisted art form. Part 4, back to the interview. Dr. Strange. Opinion on Catwoman. Margaret laughs sharply. I don't know why people think we're the same. Sure, we both take things, but she's a cat, I'm a bird, and I replace the stuff with replica explosives. And Batman? She pauses. He's interesting. Dr. Strange, Robin? She shrugs. We might both be birds, but he's boring. Dr. Strange writes, fixation on avian symbolism, competitive resentment toward other costumed identities. Part 5, documentary notes. Continue. At one point, Margaret Pye shared a cell with Poison Ivy. Reports suggest escalating tension over environmental aesthetics versus material obsession. She developed a rivalry with Arkham inmates Doodlebug and Warren White, also known as the Great White Shark. The disputes reportedly centered around territory within the asylum recreational yard. Margaret briefly partnered with Condiment King during a robbery spree. Interviews suggest she found him messy and not shiny enough. When not incarcerated, Magpie frequently visited the Iceberg Lounge, a nightclub owned by the Penguin, often admiring the chandeliers more than engaging in criminal plotting. Her first recorded crime occurred years earlier in Metropolis, where she collaborated with the organized crime syndicate Intergang. The robbery was foiled by a joint effort between Batman and Metropolis's protector, Superman. Part 6, final interview segment. Miss Pye, what is your opinion of Deacon Blackfire, especially after his cult mind-controlled you into joining? Silence. Margaret's eyes shift to the corner of the room. The air feels colder, shiny. she whispers. Dr. Strange leans forward. Margaret? She does not answer. Her gaze fixes on something behind him, a shadow, green hood, watching. Dr. Strange closes the file. Very well, we will continue tomorrow. The lights flicker. Margaret smiles. To be continued.
Okay, so if you don't understand, I'm gonna have the interviews be the main horror part, but there's gonna be some action stuff building up on, like, events that characters went through. Margaret is only in one of those stories. This first actual main stories are about Nightwing leaving the role of Robin behind. But Margaret is in the first Nightwing story in this universe. So most of it isn't horror related yet. And yes, the main doctor who will interview people will be Dr. Hugo Strange, the director of Arkham Asylum in this universe. Before Jeremiah Arkham takes over. I don't know when Jeremiah would come in, actually. And Margaret is addicted to shiny stuff, like how she is in... Kind of like how in Batman Arkham Asylum Living Hell, she was a prostitute just to get shiny stuff because she is overly obsessed with shiny stuff. So yeah. Anyways, I will be back with number 2 here in a minute. Oh yes, people. I did also indeed mention part of her first appearance in this. I don't know if she teamed up with the Intergang in her first appearance, but I do know she first appeared in a Superman story. And Superman and Batman took her down in that story. Anyways, number 2. Okay, here we are now. Number 2.
The Arkham Story number 2, Shattered Reflections. Part 1, Documentary File Addendum, Arkham Asylum Psychological Case File, Margaret Pye, compiled under supervision of Hugo Strange. Recent archival discoveries reveal that at some point during Magpie's early criminal career, an anonymous benefactor placed a contract on her life. The assassin hired was Gotham's meticulous marksman known as the Tallyman. The attempt failed. Records indicate Magpie anticipated the hit, replacing the gem he was sent to retrieve with one of her signature explosive replicas. The resulting detonation disoriented the assassin long enough for her to escape. The employer remains unknown. Financial logs further confirm that Margaret Pye performs frequent work for Penguin, often acting as a specialist thief for items too delicate or symbolically valuable for his usual operatives. Their relationship appears transactional, though some Arkham staff speculate Cobblepot finds her unpredictability useful. A more unusual entry appears in older Gotham archives, dated 1940. In what appears to be either a clerical anomaly or evidence of Magpie's distorted recollection of time, reports claim she briefly partnered with the brute known as Blockbuster in an attempt to eliminate Nightwing. The encounter ended in failure, after Nightwing outmaneuvered the pair during a warehouse ambush near the docks. Whether the 1940 date is symbolic, fabricated, or indicative of deeper psychological fracture remains unclear. Part 2, The Corridor. The halls of Arkham Asylum are quieter at night. Dr. Hugo Strange walks past reinforced doors, his polished shoes echoing against cold stone. A rattling voice breaks the silence. You can't separate us. He needs me. I need him. Inside one of the cells, the ventriloquist grips the bars, eyes wide with fury. They took Mr. Scarface away. You can't just take him. Strange does not slow his pace. Separation therapy, Mr. Wesker, he replies smoothly. You must learn independence. The ventriloquist screams after him. Strange continues down the corridor, toward interview room C. Part 3, The Interview. The door opens with a metallic click. Miss Pye, Strange begins calmly, stepping inside. I've been meaning to speak with you again about your connections to Deacon Blackfire. Silence. Strange adjusts his glasses and looks up. There is blood on the wall. A mirror lies shattered across the floor. Margaret Pye stands in the center of the room, barefoot among the fragments. One hand grips a jagged shard of glass. Thin lines of red run down her fingers. Her reflection fractures in a dozen broken pieces. Miss Pye, Strange says, voice tightening slightly. She does not look at him. Instead, she stares into one of the shards, tilting it so the light catches the edge. Shiny, she whispers. A pause. Shiny. She lifts another fragment, comparing it. Shiny. Over and over. And over and over and over and over. Her voice grows softer but faster, like a skipping record. Shiny, 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 shiny. Strange steps back as she drags the glass lightly across the wall, leaving a streak of red beneath the cracked reflection. Her eyes shift suddenly, not toward Strange, toward the corner of the ceiling, watching something unseen. Don't blink, she murmurs. Strange's pen trembles slightly before he steadies it. Margaret, he says carefully, is the shadow man here? Her smile widens. The shard catches the light. The fluorescent bulbs flicker. Very shiny, she breathes. The door behind Strange quietly locks. To be continued.
You could go buy like a Mojave or buy an albino. It'd be like a few $1,000s.
No, here's the final part of, almost final part of Margaret's story. The next one will be the final part of her story for now.
Similar. The only people that really know the difference.
The Arkham Story number 2.5, Clinical Observations.
Especially in leopard gecko.
Arkham audio log, restricted access recording. Physician Hugo Strange. Subject, Margaret Pye, Magpie. Location, Arkham Asylum, Secure Containment Wing. Begin transcript. We do not yet know what caused Margaret Pye's recent psychological fracture. A pause. Papers shuffle. The violent episode involving the mirror suggests a dissociative break. However, there is no external trigger recorded within the room. No contraband was smuggled in. No outside contact. No visible provocation. She is currently housed in secure containment. All reflective surfaces have been removed. Lighting has been dulled to reduce stimulus fixation. Strange clears his throat. As of this recording, she appears stable, conversational, responsive. Her speech patterns have returned to baseline compulsive tendencies, primarily centered on object replacement fantasies and acquisitive ideation. Another pause. Well, as normal as she can be. A faint tapping echoes in the background of the recording. We are proceeding cautiously. Sedatives have been reduced to observe natural behavior. Thus far, no repetition of the prior chanting. No fixation episodes beyond expected parameters. The tapping grows slightly louder. There will be no official mention of hallucinations or so-called spectral figures in her file moving forward. Such details invite unnecessary speculation among staff and administration. The tapping stops. For now, Margaret Pye is contained. A final note is added to the file. Future notice. Continue observation. Monitor for sudden environmental fixation triggers. Reassess in 48 hours. End transcript.
Now, moving on to the first actual story. This is Nightwing, Bloodhaven, Noir, number 1.
Cool, crazy, hard to find snakes is only for investors or people who just want to like ball out, unless it's an actual investment for.
Anyways, we got Nightwing. Not that one. I gotta go back up now. It took us too far down. We got Nightwing. Okay, is it called Bloodhaven? Bloodhaven? How you say it? I pronounce it as Bloodhaven. Bloodhaven Noir number 1. This mentions the 1940. This is related to the 1940s attack that Magpie and Blockbuster did, but it doesn't show the attack right now. This is just Nightwing's first time meeting with Magpie. The attack.
Nightwing.
The attack won't come later until another volume where Blockbuster gets his interview.
Nightwing, Bloodhaven number 1, a different shadow. Bloodhaven doesn't.
Okay, I'm not going to use that. No, that's going to be. Nightwing. Bloodhaven number 1, a different shadow. Bloodhaven doesn't sleep, it just pretends to. Rain selects the rooftops. Neon signs flicker. The harbor smells like rust and bad decisions. And on a rooftop overlooking the city stands a young man holding a folded suit of red, green, and yellow. Prologue, a new name. Months earlier inside the cave, the suit rests on a workbench. Bruce stands in silence as Dick Grayson sets it down. I can't keep being Robin, Dick says. Batman doesn't look up. You're not quitting? You're not quitting. I'm not quitting, Dick shakes his head. I'm growing. Silence. I need to be something different. Something that isn't just your shadow. Bruce finally meets his eyes. I did Bruce here and not Batman, so that it can be a heart-to-heart family moment, okay? And what will you be? Dick smirks slightly. Still working on the name, but it won't be Robin. He turns toward the exit. Talk to you later. A pause. Maybe. Actually, it says talk to you later, Bruce. A pause. Maybe. Present night, Bloodhaven. A mugger flees across an alley and lands in a stack of garbage bags. Nightwing flips down lightly. Okay, he says, dusting his gloves off. That's strike 3 for armed robbery, gentlemen. You win a 3 trip to county. Another thug groans. You aren't Batman? You aren't Batman. Something like that, you know. Nightwing grins under the domino mask. Nope. Better posture, though. He taps his comms. Hey, Vic Wally, just wrapping up the welcoming committee on 4th and Grant. I'll be back at the tower soon. Save me some cake. Static? Guys, nothing. Nightwing pauses and laughs. They already started Beast Boy's party. Unbelievable. Yes, I did wanted to do some stuff with the Titans for this story here. And this is why, and Nightwing has like 3 other stories after this. And it's basically showing how he become Nightwing. That's when the city screams. Alarms echoed from a distance of the Bloodhaven Natural History Museum. Nightwing looks towards the skyline. Well, duty calls. First encounter. Glass shatters inward as Nightwing flipped through a skylight. Inside display, cases glittered under emergency lights, and in the center of it all, a woman in black and white with sharp edges and sharper eyes, holding a glittery gemstone. She glances at him. You're not Batman. I can do a female voice. You're not Batman. Wow, Nightwing said, landing in a crouch. I leave town for 5 minutes, and already I lost my brand recognition. She smiles thinly. You're shinier. Thanks. I could. What the fuck? I'm messing up my words already. I should let the AI read it, but it's gonna make fun of the word Bloodhaven.
Condition.
I conditioned. She tossed something into the empty case. Nightwing's eyes widened. That better not be what I think it is. It's a replacement. He dives. The replica explosive detonates behind him in a burst, a controlled force blasting him through a fossil exhibit. Smoke fills the hall. When it's clear, she's gone. Nightwing coughs, standing up. Okay, birthday. Explosives attitude problem? Got it. He taps his comms again. Vic Wally, still nothing. He starts mentally strolling through options. Beast Boy, no, it's literally his party. Raven and Starfire's probably there. Roy's with Ollie. Dinah's on Themyscira. Garth's in Atlantis. Alfred's worrying about Bruce. Bruce is being Bruce. He sighs. Vat leaves. He taps a different channel. Hey, Babs. Static. Then, okay, I don't know if I want to do Nightwing and Dick Babs or Dick Starfire or Grayson Starfire. You know, I don't know who I want. I don't know if I want Nightwing and Batgirl to be together or Nightwing and Starfire to be together. Then Dick Grayson says a familiar voice. You are interrupting my criminology midterm study session. Nightwing grins. They're the same age. Just so you know. Says, I didn't like the Batgirl being a little bit younger than Nightwing or Robin, you know, however they did it in the 2004 show. This is kind of like a little bit like the animated series, where they're like roughly the same age. But Barbara went off to college, and Nightwing is, well, being Nightwing. So Barbara has homework and isn't doing that much Joker stuff. Not Joker, Batman fighting Joker stuff, you know? She's not really doing that much Batgirl right now. She isn't paralyzed yet, since Jason isn't Robin yet during this point of time. Nightwing grins. You love it. I do not. You do. Aside, keyboard clanking. I say, what's wrong? Bird theme, jewel thief, likes explosives, knows I'm not Batman, blew up a museum, bad manners, pause. Oh no. That's never a good response. That's Magpie. Bless you. Margaret Pye, Barbara says, professional thief, obsessed with shiny objects, replaces stolen items with replica explosives. This next thing I could actually see Nightwing doing. Nightwing whistles. That's dramatic. She was taken down a few weeks ago by Clark and Bruce. You mean, yes. Okay, that's intimidating. She's been active in Gotham recently. Nightwing cracks his fist. Well, now she's vacationing in Bloodhaven, the second museum. Across town, another alarm screams. Nightwing arrives, just as Magpie pries open another case. You know, Nightwing says, casually walking in through the front door this time, most people buy souvenirs. She rolls her eyes. You again. You wound me. We just met. She darts forward, blades flashing, they clash. She's fast, he's faster. She hurls another replica into a display. Nightwing kicks it mid-air, sending it crashing harmlessly into an empty marble corridor before it detonates. 2 for 2, he calls. I'm starting to enjoy this. She snarls, you're not Batman. I'm getting that a lot tonight. As you can see, Nightwing is a jokester in this universe. He sweeps her legs. She flips, slashing, grazing his shoulder. He spins, cracking a strimmer stick against her wrist. The blades clatter. He pins her against a dinosaur skull. She laughs breathlessly. I won't tell you who I'm working for. He'll kill me. Nightwing throws one strimmer stick. It hums with electrical charge. You know what else hurts? She goes. Electric volts to the brain. Her composure cracks. Blockbuster. Nightwing blinks. That sounds like a rental store. He hired me. He hesitates just for a moment too long. Barbara's voice in his ear. Dick, don't. Too late. He taps the strimmer stick lightly against her shoulder. She collapses unconsciously. Silence. Barbara sighs. You know, you don't have to be like him. Nightwing stands there for a moment. Rain starts leaking through the shattered skylight. She most likely came through that this time. You're right, he says softly. I don't. Police sirens approach in the distance. He looks down at the unconscious thief. Now all I have to do is find a blockbuster. Pauses. Whoever that is. Barbara groans. You really should have asked more questions before knocking her out. Nightwing smiles. You're right. He fires a grappling hook towards the ceiling. Good night, Babs. Go home, Dick. He swings out into the rain. Bloodhaven's lights flicker below him. A new name cuts through the dark. Not Robin, not a shadow, something different. And then we get the Teen Titans, the OGs. Part 1, the originals. That wasn't what it's called. It wasn't called the OGs. I was going to have, we have like part 1. It's 3 parts. Hi, Mom. Let me make something to eat. Part 1. Jump City, the bright side of Bloodhaven. Okay. In my universe, Jump City is a city in Bloodhaven, since Bloodhaven is only a little bit smaller than Gotham. And Gotham's big as fuck, people, okay? It's Gotham. It's known to be big. Anyways, the way I have it is, well, there is Bloodhaven. And Bloodhaven has Jump City in it, and you see why in the story. Why does this is loud, chaotic, and currently smells like mustard? Since during this time was his time with the original Teen Titans, so he wasn't that much with Bruce, really. At the moment, he wasn't. during this story time. Anyway, it smells like mustard. Why does this always happen? Robin shouts, flipping over a flying hot dog cart. Dick Grayson, still Robin, lands in a crouch as a stream of ketchup splatters against a street light behind him. Across the plaza, Condiment King, crack-a-doodle, squeeze gun blazing. Behind him, a lanky figure of the prankster adjusts his bow tie while the trickster throws a tricked umbrella like he's auditioning for a circus. Yes, okay, for the first Teen Titans story, for part 1, I wanted the villains to be... Okay, each part 1 and part 2 has different villains. Part 3 has no villains because part 3 is the aftermath of Nightwing number 1. Anyways, part 1 has Condiment King, Prankster, and Trickster. Because I wanted to get in, and you see why I add in a Superman villain in a minute. But I wanted a joke Superman, some joke villains. So I thought of the ones I could think of, which were Condiment King from Batman's Rogues Gallery, Prankster from Superman's, and Trickster from The Flash. And because there's one super character that I don't really think has a team to be on. Because there's, well, Superman, who's on the Justice League. Connor Kent, Superboy. Hang on, Crypto, the super dog, is on the Super Pets, along with all the other super animals. Connor Kent, Superboy, is on the Young Justice League. The Young Justice team. Bizarro is on the Outsiders. Power Girl, I think, is on a team, but doesn't make main universe really, I don't think, anymore. And Jonathan Kent, Superboy, is on the new Teen Titans that Damian had before they were disbanded. And all that. So the one person who wasn't on a team was Supergirl. So I put Supergirl on the original Teen Titans. Which, okay, I'll go over the members. The members right now are Dick Grayson, Robin / Nightwing. Even though he's not called Nightwing yet. Wally West, Kid Flash. Roy Harper, Speedy. He doesn't become Arsenal until after the death of Jason. Garth, who's Aqualad still. Donna Troy, who is Wonder Girl, because Garth won't become Tempest and Donna Troy won't become, her other hero identities until the time of Tim Drake. I'm making my food. Over here. But I guess once I'm done...
Episode series here on the channel. Something we have never done before.
Then yeah.
I want to present to you...
I'll go get me my can of soda that
Okay. Anyways, I'm also having on the team, like I said, aside from the original ones, which were Dick Grayson, Robin, who's now Nightwing in the future, Donna Troy, Wonder Girl, who will become, like I said, and Garth, Aqualad, who will become their other hero identities around the time of Young Justice in this universe. If I get to that point in time. Along with,
episode series here on the channel. Something we have never done before.
like I said, Speedy, Roy Harper, and Wally West, Kid Flash. There's also Supergirl, and those are the OG members. The new members who aren't OGs are Beast Boy, Cyborg, Raven, and Starfire. And we will get a story about how the originals came together at some point, but not right now.
There you go. the snack King of the Snackdown Smackdown. Now, to do this, there's going to be some rules so that we can make sure we...
This story is about how the other four kind of got on the team. The first one is just a jokingly story anyways. Part 1. Kid Flash blurs past in a red and yellow streak. Okay, Wally says. Speeding to a stop beside Robin. This is officially the worst picnic I ever been to. Speedy fires a net arrow, tangling the trickster mid-monologue. Can we please fight one villain at a time? Roy Harper groans. Wonder Girl yanks at a pretzel stand out of the air and hurls it towards Connor McKean. Oh, she tried to kill him. Focus, Donna Troy calls. From the harbor, Aqualad vaults forward in a spray of water, tackling Prankster in the fountain. And you guys say Atlantis is dramatic, Garth mutters. Okay, I will say though, Nightwing, Beast Boy, Cyborg, Starfire, and Raven live at the Titan's Tower. Because even though Bruce and Alfred will welcome Dick back at any time, he's, like I said, right now trying to leave Bruce's shadow. Beast Boy literally has nowhere else to stay. Cyborg could stay at his dad's, but he doesn't like his dad right now because he blames his dad for him becoming a cyborg. Even though it's not explained in the stories, but that's why they're basically all at the tower. Kinda. In some of these stories that may come in the future. Starfire, she doesn't understand that much about humans, and her planet literally got blown up like Superman's. And, well, with Raven, it's the best place for her to be. Part-time stayers are... Also, another full-time stayer, Aqualad. Since, yes, he does have a place in Atlantis for him to stay at Arthur's kingdom. Yes, Aqualad has a kingdom. Not Aqualad, Aquaman has a kingdom. But Garth is like, Atlantis is too far away from the city from the main area I protect. So that's why he lives at the tower. The part-time member, same with Donna. She lives full-time there too, since, well, she doesn't live with Diana, Wonder Woman, and Themyscira is too far away. And part-timers, though, are Wally West, who lives with his aunt, Iris West. Roy Harper, who lives with Oliver most of the time. And Supergirl, who lives on the Kent's farm.
Seed number 8, the gold.
Anyways,
Who made this seeding? I don't even know what
Garth mutters. Above them, a streak of red and blue drops from the sky. Supergirl lands hard, cracking the pavement. Sorry I'm late, she says. Metropolis traffic. Okay, to be honest, yeah, Metropolis will be back up in traffic. Gotham, not so much. And not in Bloodhaven, neither, since not that many people want to be stuck in traffic in those cities, since how many villains attack them.
Crunchy, light, tasty.
Robin flips over Connor McKean, twisting both of them. Both Connor McKinnon's backward. You're done, he says, coolly. Kid Flash zips behind, tying the villains up in mustard-stained rope. Connor McKean sighs. You kids are no fun. Robin surveys the team, laughing victoriously. Messy. The original Teen Titans, and for a moment, everything feels simple. Part 2, the newcomers. Simple doesn't last. This is right after part 1. So the Teen Titans... Okay, these are, the ones that we just met are already heroes. So they already been around.
I'm gonna have to use
These new ones just became heroes and trying to help out. In here. Anyways, the sky tears open. Parademons pull through a boom tomb above Jump City skylines. Robin's mask reflects the flames. Oh, come on!
road trip. That's where you pick
Across the harbor, the Justice League engages. Distant flashes of green, gold, and red lightning the clouds. We're helping, Robin says instantly. Flash grins. Flash grins. Finally, something that doesn't squirt condiments. They charge. Mid-battle, a sonic cannon blast rips through a swarm of parademons. Robin turns. A towering metal figure stands, smoking in the street. Name's Cyborg, he says. You're welcome. A dark portal blossoms nearby. A cloaked girl steps through. Eyes go Azrav, Zent. I just say this. I don't know how to pronounce her fucking words. Her saying. I forget how to say it now.
Azareth, Metrion, Zinthos.
It's not Azareth. Mentio Zent.
What are you thinking? I mean, I know.
Zento. Azarath, Mentio, Zentos. There we go. Energy erupts. Parademons fall. Beast Boy swings down from a street light as a gorilla. Did I miss anything cool? Robin stares. Who are you people? Like I said, they are new to the hero job. Mom, can I have some soda? Before anyone answers, a streak of fire streams from the sky. Someone crashes directly into Robin. They tumble across the pavement. Robin groans. Okay, I'm officially confused. He looks up. A girl with blazing red hair and glowing green eyes hovers inches above him. She says something rapid. Alien. I don't speak that, Robin admits. She studies him, then leans down and kisses him. The word flashes. Language floods his mind. She pulls back, smiling brightly. I am Starfire, a Tamaran. Okay, yes. If you don't know, Starfire has the ability to learn languages from kissing people. I'm not joking, that is an actual thing, an actual ability she has. In the comics. And in the original Titan show, she has the ability to learn languages by kissing. When was she made again? Let's find out. Oh. The 1980s. Makes sense. Makes sense. She appeared in DC Comics Presents number 29, a preview story for the upcoming new Teen Titans series. But yeah, this makes total sense, it does actually.